couple of the steps involved in working with your beef muscle extract, the beef heart extract, when we're trying to prepare lactate dehydrogenase. And one of the steps is using a centrifuge. So I want to talk about getting the samples ready for centrifugation. So what we're going to do is take centrifuge tubes. These hold approximately 40 milliliters. So if this was our crude muscle extract, we would get 40 milliliters, place it in the centrifuge tube, and then we're going to weigh that. So we've previously tared the balance, and then we would write down 51 point, if you round that off, 51.8, 51.8. And we'd prepare our next sample, same kind of a centrifuge tube, 40 milliliters, 51.8 is what we're going to try to. So here we're a little bit high, 52, so we're going to take that back to 51.8. So just pipette out some of the liquid, 51.8. Okay, round that off, that's close enough, 51.8. So we have two tubes of crude extract, and they both weigh 51.8 milliliters, or 51.8 grams. So now we're going to go back to the centrifuge, and if you had more than two samples, you would want to, of course, weigh them all. So we have our rotor already placed in the centrifuge. Of course, if you're doing two samples, you would put them opposite to each other. If you add two more, you'd have to do those opposite. So keep working in an opposite fashion. Close the door. Whoop. First of all, let's put our lid on. Snug that down. The rotor's on. Close the door. Turn on the power. Okay. So when we're doing lactate dehydrogenase from beef heart muscle, we want to keep the, and this would be similar for most proteins, we want to keep that fairly cold. So we're going to, this is a refrigerated centrifuge, so we're going to turn this down to about 4 to 5 degrees centigrade. And what will happen in here, it'll start to get cold. You can see the frost on the walls. And the rotor was already in there, so it should be getting cold as well. Then we're going to select our RPMs. So let's say the procedure called for 12,000. So we bring this up to 12,000 RPM. And let's say we're going to centrifuge this for an hour. So bring that up to 60. And then we hit the start button. And it should begin to spin up. So if we look here, there's 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, there's 5, and so forth. That's going to go all the way up to, there's 10, there's 7, and if we get everything balanced, there shouldn't be any vibration. If you notice any undue vibration of this cabinet, it could indicate the rotor's not balanced. Be sure to shut it off at that point. In an emergency, you can just hit the off button, hit the power button off. All right, we're almost up to 12,000. There we go, 12,000, a little bit over. Turn this back a tad. 12,000 at 4 degrees centigrade. Let's assume the run is over, so we can shut it off. And because it's spinning so fast, it's going to take a while for it to slow down. Once your RPMs have hit 0, then you can open the door, take the lid off, and take your sample out. So, main point here is be sure the rotor is well balanced, and you choose the correct temperature for the procedure and the right RPMs.